Are you interested in attending Special Forces assessment and selection? Are you prepared to go? Have you done everything that you can that's within your power to ensure that you're able to attend, crush, and get selected? If there's any hint of hesitation there, guys, more than likely the answer is no. With that in mind, I want to give you another tool that you can gravitate towards that's going to help you get that much more prepared. If you haven't done so already, guys, check out the description box below. Go to the Patreon. There you'll have access to a variety of prep courses that I put together geared towards helping you attend and crush Special Forces in selection. Once you get signed up, you'll get access to the Discord where at any given times, there's 90 other dudes on there that's currently going through the Special Forces journey. Some of them are currently at airborne school. Others have just graduated basic and AIT. Others have been a selection. Some have gotten selected. Some haven't. But it's a community that I'm trying to build to give you guys an outlet so you could communicate with guys that are currently going through the same process. And on top of that, guys, you'll get access to me at any given times for any question that you might have. So if you have any doubt, guys, on whether or not you are ready to attend, I encourage you to check out the Patreon, all right? It's going to cost you $19 to either live a life of fulfillment or a life of regret. Fulfillment in knowing that you paid the $19 to go get the information that's going to give you the edge over the next dude to attend and crush selection. Regret in knowing that you didn't spend that $19 to give yourself an edge. Now you attended and failed selection. It's $19. If you don't like what you see at the Patreon, you can always cancel your subscription, guys. The intent here, guys, is to help you prep so you could attend and crush selection. So if you haven't done so already, go over to the Patreon. I'll see you there. Let's talk about selection then. And when I speak about selection, I like to dissect it into two separate parts, right? Admin week, which is, the first week where you do all your physical stuff. Then you have Len Nav, and then you have team week. Yep. How was admin week for you whenever you went?
It was good. I thought it was good. I thought it was great, actually, because we were doing a lot of rucking, a lot of running.
Yeah. And you're in your environment at that point.
And at that point, dude, I'm like, man, this is where I need to be.
Yeah.
And I remember we had this big dude there. I called him the machine, dude.
Yeah.
He's about 6'3", 6'4", big white guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. I wish I knew him. His
Yeah.
roster number, I was 121. I think his roster number was 77.
Still remember it, huh?
That boy was a beast, man. Because every time I was out front, either first or second at everything.
Yeah.
Every time I looked around, man, out here. And it was him. I'm like, man, this cat, man, he's going to go away, And then a couple runs, he beat me on, I'd be pissed. And then a couple runs, he beat me on, I was pissed. I'm like, man, this dude's a stud. Because I always consider myself a stud. I'm like, this dude's a stud. And he's a big boy. So it was like, nah, he ain't going to keep up.
Yeah.
He lasts the whole way. And so for me, the first admin week was the best part of it because you start losing people. Mm-hmm. And now, it's sad to say it, but I'm feeding off of that. I'm like, man, I don't know what the end of this thing is, but I know I'm going to be at it. And these guys are falling out left and right.
Yeah, that was extra motivation.
So it was extra motivation. I'm like, dude, as long as I don't get hurt, because, I see guys break their legs, break their ankles, tear their backside, tear a muscle, and they're on the truck. Man, or they volunteer, they VW and they volunteer withdrawal, and they getting out of there. So I'm like, man, I just don't need to get hurt,
Yeah.
And so...
Now, do you remember how many folks you started selection with?
We started selection with 372 people.
372, all right.
We graduated with 88.
Gotcha.
And 68 got selected.
Damn. Yeah, because I always joke the first week you can prep for, right?
Yeah.
Because on this channel, I help guys get ready for selection, prep. And they always, send me emails and Instagram posts about, hey, what do I need to do to prepare? And I tell them, dude, it's like going to college, right? Yeah. And the professor tells you what's going to be on the test. She literally gives you, an answer sheet. Hey, you need to study these questions.
Right.
And this is the answer, right? And I'm like, as a college student, what are you going to do? You're going to study that.
Oh.
And you're going to study, hey, question number 1 is B. You're going to study it. It's the same concept. You're going to selection. Yep. You're going to do rucks. You're going to run. You're going to take an ACFT.
Yep.
You're going to do Len Nav. So what do you need to do?
You need to work on those things?
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Now, week 2, how was that for you? Because that's Len Nav.
Week 2 was I like week 2 just because, the Len Nav, I wasn't as strong as Len Nav as I wanted to be because I didn't have nobody teaching me and showing me how to do it.
Yeah.
But, growing up in the country, you learn,
your
cardinal directions, you learn headed north, headed south. And so they gave some great classes when I went through selection, land nav classes.
Yeah.
And so basically what I did was I got one of the guys there. He's a land nav guy. And he just showed me like, hey, dude, here's a point. Draw a line, put it in your compass, and walk it.
Yeah.
Don't try to do no dead reckoning. Don't try to do terrain association. Because I didn't know how to do it at the time.
Yeah.
And I did exactly what he told me. And then what I did was I just ran the whole way.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to run, buy myself time. That way, if I do get lost,
you have time to recover.
I have time to recover.
Yep.
And that's exactly what I did, man.
Yeah. I did the same thing because I grew up in New York City, so I didn't grow up in the woods navigating. Yeah. Like, the only land nav training I had was when I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas.
Gotcha.
But when I went to selection, I was 25, and I was in the best shape of my life. So whenever I hit the land nav course, like, I would just run the entire thing. And when I did get lost, I had a backstop to where I just ran the entire thing. And if I did get lost, I had enough time to, as opposed to walking and losing on time. And if I get lost, I'm out of time at that point.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's a good strategy.
So for guys, and I know what you're doing for your show to help guys with selection. I would say this too, man, which I come do it if you want. Yeah. Do you ever go work out with some of these guys, send you emails about getting training in?
Mm-mm.
Let me know, dude. I'll come do it with you, bro. I think it'd be awesome, man.
Oh, definitely.
Let's get some guys together. They want to go on a rock on a run.
Yeah.
We'll link up with them somewhere on Bragg or somewhere around and just go show them some tricks of the trade. I'm down with it.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea. Like OJT essentially.
I just thought about OJT plus keeps us in shape, dude. Do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like a pre-selection. Guys are going. We know they're going.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Let me know, man. I'll do it. I just thought about it when you said you do know how to land nav. I didn't know how to land nav.
Yeah.
And then when I went through selection, they had a strong swimmers course too.
Yeah.
That, I think they still do it, but they had a strong swimmers course for guys that couldn't swim or wasn't strong swimmers. So, but yeah, dude, we can help guys out, man. I just thought about when you just said that. So
that's an awesome idea.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, we'll get together and because I know there's a bunch of guys here on Bragg that I'm currently speaking with.
Okay.
So I can always put that out and see if there's any interest, and if there is, then I'll reach out to you.
We're staying in shape, man.
Yeah, I don't run like I used to, but I can.
We can keep up.
Now, moving on to Team Week, how was that for you, man?
Team Week was good for me. I like Team Week, but I didn't like Team Week because I got put on. Dude, it was terrible. I'm 5'9". Everybody on my team was 6'3" or taller. Yeah. Everybody. So every time we carried anything, I always had to. I felt like I had all the weight. I had all the weight. I'm like, dude, I'm carrying everything right now. At least that's what it felt like. Yeah. And so after Team Week, it's like, God, man, it's like, this is crazy, man. Like my whole right side is just like tore up. Yeah. Left side was strong. Right side was just banged up from putting all the weight on it. Yeah. But other than that, Team Week was good. I like Team Week just because you were working as a team. But what I noticed during Team Week is you still had individuals. Yeah. You mean even though we're a team trying to get it done, you still had individuals that were like, all right, I'm doing this, doing that. It's like, come on, man, like. We're a team. Let's work as a team. But it is what it is. Yeah. So
you went through. You got towards the end. What happened then?
So once I got towards the end, which a lot of people don't know, I didn't know that time, but I was a 21-day non-select. Okay. This was in June or July. But I was a 21-day non-select. I had no clue what a 21-day non-select was. Like I said, at this point, dude, I still don't know what a Green Beret is. All I know is I'm here and I'm beating my body up and I'm doing all this training. Man, this is awesome. We're losing guys I'm motivated by. So we had to go to a board, and I'm sitting there. I think it's like 15 dudes went to a board. I think I was like the second guy they called into the board because I was the youngest guy there. Yeah. So I walk into the board, and I remember I saluted, and they tell you what to say. You go in and salute the board, tell them your roster number, and tell them you're reporting to the board. So I walked in and saluted, hey, roster number, reporting to the president of the board. And then they're like, all right, relax. And they're like, hey, do you know why you're here? I was like, no, sir, I don't. And then they were like, hey, they had all my use records and stuff like that. Yeah. And then one of the commanders read off. He was like, "Hey, you're in great physical shape. You're in the top 2% of runs and rucks." He goes, "But at this point, you're not really what we're looking for. What we'd like for you to do is go back and get more experience." I was like, "Roger that, sir."
Because you got to figure, how old are you at this point?
I'm 19 years old, bro. I'm 19 years old. Yeah.
Now, looking back at that, what do you think about what that commander said? Having been to the regiment and seeing what...
Looking back what he said, though, but for me, though, being 19 years old, 19 to me was just an age, because you grow up on a farm, you get responsibility real fast. Yeah. So your average 19-year-old, like you said, was out partying and stuff. Yeah. While I'm at home, while I'm in the barracks room doing... I did a lot of correspondence courses. Because I wanted to, when I first joined the Army, my goal, I want to be Sergeant Major of the Army. I just thought that'd be a cool thing to do. Yeah. So I was doing all kind of correspondence courses, reading stuff. I want to be a drill sergeant and Sergeant Major of the Army. Yeah. So, dude, by the time I was a PFC making E4, I knew every drill command in the DNC book. Everyone memorized. Yeah. because that's what I wanted to do. I thought drill sergeants was just cool
Yeah.
because they train, they seem like they're in great shape.
Yeah.
But anyways, 19 years old. Thinking back now, I'm like, yeah, they had a good point until I went back. They gave me a certificate that said I passed the land navigation course.
Yeah.
So I go back and I'm like, yeah, my commander's like, hey, how'd it go? You know, because he's getting ready to go to DC. I go, oh, sir, they told me I could come back, and they gave me a certificate. He looked at it, he's like, Johnny, that's awesome. You know, you should go back. I'm like, roger that.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was laying in the bed or laying in the barracks, and my ex showed up at the barracks, and I was like, she's like, how was it? I was like, I don't know. They told me I was 21 day non-select. And then I said, but they said I can come back. And she's like, well, go back. I was like, you know what, I will.
Yeah.
I went back to the next class in September.
Now, did you do any research at this point to
Hell,
figure out what you were getting yourself into?
All I know is I had a good time. I was 21 day non-select, and dude, I just went through some of the best physical training of my life. I'm going back.
Yeah. So selection ended in July.
Yep.
You took August off and then went back September. Or was there not a class in August?
Yeah, it wasn't a class in August, so they had July. The class ended either end of June. I think it was like the end of June or July 1st because the 4-day weekend was 4th of July weekend. So I knew we were back I was back in Lewis on 4th of July. So it had to end either end of August or like that first day in September or something.
So you literally went back the next class.
Going back next class, yeah.
Yeah. Did you recover at all? Was the body still?
Man, my body 2 days later, bro, I was fine, man. When I got home, all I had to do was get upright because I kind of leaned to the right from all the weight for team week. But you know, the last couple of days when I graduated selection, you stayed at Camp McCall for a day. Mm-hmm. Then you went back to Bragg and you out processed. That took 2 or 3 days. Yeah. Then once you out processed, then you left to go back to your duty station.
Damn.
And some guys took, like, back when I went, you got 40, I think it was either 30 or 45 days convalescent leave. I think it was 45 days. Yeah. Because dude be broke, man, their feet was jacked up. But I got back to Lewis, man, I didn't do nothing, man. There was like convalescent leave, I didn't even know what it was. Actually, I went back and worked. Yeah. Because we had something going on. I can't remember what, we were getting ready to go do some, like, big thing that the unit would do every year. Yeah. And so I was helping guys load out and stuff like right there. And they're like, hey, you know you're on convalescent leave. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Yeah. They're like, hey, let your body go. I was like, I'm going to play selection. So I went and talked to the recruiter. He's like, when you want to go back? I was like, I'll let it go back next night. He's like, you sure? I was like, yeah. He's like, how's your body? I was like, I'm fine. Yeah. He was like,
dude, that's an anomaly. After selection, dude, my body was fucked.
Yeah, and most people were, but most people it's their feet. Yeah. But see, bro, my kids joke with me. I got ugly feet, bro. I got some bunions, but I tell people I got ugly feet, but I don't get no blisters. Yeah. I take my ugly feet any day of the week, but it's just them country feet, man. So I didn't have no blisters, bro. I didn't get not one blister. Yeah. You know, so.
How was the second time around for you?
Second time around, what I did was I actually talked to a guy that was over at first group. I went to go talk to the recruiter, and he goes, "Hey, I was walking out of the recruiter office, and he was an Asian kid. And he goes, hey, you going to selection?" I was like, yeah, I am. I said, I just got back, actually. He's like, really? He said, yeah, how'd it go? I said, I was a 21-day non-select. And he goes, hey, when you go this time, man, be the gray man. Yeah. I said, what do you mean? He's like, just be the gray man, dude. Get in the middle of the pack, just be the gray man. I was like, oh.
So instead of being first and second and everything.
He told me to be the gray man. And dude, that was the best advice I ever got. But it was hard, though. I ain't gonna lie, dude. It was real hard because
you're holding back.
Yeah, the first run we did, I actually did it. I took off. Yeah. And I was like, oh, man, I need to be the gray man. Mm-hmm. So I ran that first run. I think it's like a 6-mile run. I blowed it out. And I got done, dude. I'm just sitting there waiting. Yeah. All right, here comes the next guy. And then I saw that 2 of the instructors over there talking, whispering. You know, they try to make everything so. And he's writing his clipboard. I'm like, oh, man, I messed up. Yeah. I said, man, I was supposed to be a gray man. So after that, I became a gray man. Mm-hmm. And then, I just held back. And then on one of the runs, I remember one of the cadre go, hey, I think you're holding back, Roster. I can remember what my second roster was.
Because they already know how fast you were at that point.
How fast I was. I kind of screwed myself. So then I just got in the middle of the pack, dude. And then as guys start falling out, they just didn't even notice me. Yeah. Just stayed in the middle of the pack.
Now, having been to group, serving at the highest level, why do you think that being the gray man works so good as far as, selection and the type of guy that they're looking for?
Well, what I would tell guys is, if you're that gray man, 1, you're that quiet professional. Mm-hmm. And 2, the way I look at it, it's like some of our military brethren. Yeah. I'll say SEALs, for instance. Yeah. We don't have to pump our chest and say, look how hard I am, look at what I can do. Yeah. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't need people to do that, you know what I mean? You mean, my actions is going to speak for what I did. But when I was 19, all I knew was, hey, I'm running. Yeah. All I knew was, hey, I'm rucking. So when somebody told me to be the gray man, I didn't know what a gray man was. Mm-hmm. But it's like, hey, dude, you're probably in better shape than anybody here. Yeah. But why do you have to prove that?
Exactly. Yeah.
If it arises where I got to show guys, hey, dude, I got a ruck, I got to go 10 miles in an hour. I'm going to cinch my ruck and I say, all right, follow me. If you can't make it, I'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll complete the mission or whatever.
Yeah.
So being that gray man, I think, and plus, if you're the gray man, you can also conserve your energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys don't understand that. Just like all the range school guys don't understand that. You got these young privates, man. They tell you, hey, run up to the child or get child. Dude, they sprint all the way to the child.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why don't we all just jog there as a group? And we're a team.
Yeah. Because, shoot, when I was, back at Fort Riley as a, platoon sergeant, I would always tell my guys, like, you're as strong as your weakest link.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like, you could run 5-minute miles,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? But if, private such and such is running 8-minute miles, guess what?
You can't leave him.
That's how fast you are.
That's how fast we are.
You know what I mean?
That's it.
You either work to get private such and such to a 5-minute mile,
Yep.
or you dial it back. Because when we go to combat, like, and we're running and gunning, you're not gonna take off and leave everybody else behind, right? Like, we all got to maneuver together.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's amazing. So you went through the second time, no issue.
Second time, no issues.
Yeah.
Got selected.